And, you know, 2 or 3 years later, I finally kind of came down off that experience, you know, just decided, okay, I was totally freaking nuts. That's, you know, just what happened, I guess. And I went back and in North County, San Diego, up in the Encinitas area, I started, you know, selling real estate again, some smaller stuff, but more, you know, still kind of apartments and smaller investment type real estate. The stuff I knew about to make a living and so forth. And I continued on with my life. So I'm in the surf trip with El Salvador with a manifester, and it was literally a manifester that told me, hey, I think you need to go check out my friend Doug. And this is, again, Doug Hetrick. You know, he's still available. He's right there on the Human Design America list, and he'll be on our website soon. Because he's you think I'm crazy, wait until you meet him. I went and saw this, and I got my reading. I got my reading, and I was, the only thing I heard in that first reading is I had an open ego, and I'd always been trying to prove myself, it just rocked me so hard. Within 3 months or so, I was living on the beach in Mexico. But let me finish the first part of that tale. Is that at that time I didn't get anything about the rave. I didn't understand it. I mean, I was like, oh, this is neat. Okay, yeah, I have been trying to prove myself, and it went in really deep. Whatever he did, it went in so deep. And the only thing I got was I had been trying to prove myself my whole life, and that was it. And I remember walking around, staggering around, for months, going, you know, invitation. What the hell does that mean? Wait for an invitation. You know, what does this mean? And then I was learning to kite surf then. So I was out playing one night with my kite in the middle of the street in Encinitas by the beach, which is another, you know, I used to really be crazy, guys. You know, and I twisted my back with the trainer kite because I was just getting so radical with it from, you know, of course, overdoing it, not knowing when enough is enough, etc. Typical projector that's not aware of, you know, its energetic truth. I twisted my back, and Doug is also this incredible healer. He knows all this chiropractic stuff. So he comes over and he's fixing my back. And when he's done fixing my back, he goes, hey, John, so, you know, I'm glad you enjoyed your reading. And we kind of become friends. And he was actually known as the urban shaman. You know, he's still known as the urban shaman there in Encinitas. And so he takes a manual. It's called Rave Cartography. I think it was the original Rave Cartography manual. And he throws it on my table to me. And God, my whole body just lit up splenically as I said that. And I mean, tears were just rolling out. I realized this was the rave I was looking for. This was whatever I was looking for. And then I realized, oh God, this is the urban shaman. Oh God, you know, I mean, literally within like ding, 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 you know, it was like getting boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh, duh, duh. And I was like, oh my God. Within three or 4 weeks, maybe a month or two from that point, I began an intense study of the very basics of human design. I still am very much focused on the basics, guy. And I went down to like Ensenada, Mexico, and I was living in a tent on the beach. I was studying the power of now. Basically, the other thing Doug told me in that reading is, look, unless you can get out of your mind, you're never going to get this, John. And so I was, you know, Eckhart Tolle did this really nice Power of Now series. I still listen to them, CDs 1 and 2, particularly again and again and again. It's just, hey, you are not your mind. And I began studying the mechanics of human design. And I don't remember the exact time period that I moved here to Kauai. Basically just camped and surfed and worked at the surf school here for the first 2 or 3 years. And I was only studying human design because it was, for me, I was so, you guys understand, I was messed up, man. Alcoholic, drug addict, sex addict, adrenaline junkie. I mean, the only addiction I can remember, the only major addiction I know I didn't have, or I don't think I ever had, was gambling, unless you call skydiving gambling. And then I had that addiction too. So, I mean, dude, I was a mess, dude. So I was studying it for me. And slowly but surely, people started asking me, you know, would you know, they just knew I was into this stuff, and could see that I was really changing there, and slowly but surely people started asking me, and you know, one thing led to another, and pretty soon, I mean, I was just in this snowball, and here I am. You know, this is, you know, about 8.5 years later, a little over 8 years later at this point. I only thought it was 7. I mean, that's how dumb I was until I looked at my passport and saw when I went on the surf trip. I didn't even know how long I'd been in human design. I don't care. I mean, that carries no weight with me whatsoever. You know, I know people that have been in a long time that are, you know, we'll just see. We'll just see. Anyway, so I don't have to do it again. That's my story, and it's beautiful to be invited to talk that through because a lot of people ask that one, and that's how I got into human design. And man, my mind still wishes I could get out. But my body is locked, guys. I mean, it is so locked. I'm so dreadfully, deadly into this experiment. And I'm going to tell you, man, there's been good times and there's been bad times. But if I was to tell you overall, it's been 8 years of mud and blood, honestly. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I finally feel what it must mean to have your own unique frequency, you know, to have your perspective. So that's my perspective. Aloha.